Well, good afternoon. Afternoon. Sun's still out. Well, it's not out. It's actually gloomy and gray and cloudy. What they call May gray out here. Um, it's Journal 57, T+51, which is we've crossed into hollowed ground. We're more than halfway through it the first 100 days, and it's 5/23, May 23rd, 2019. I'm going to try and do this post while Lesley's still trapped downstairs in the laundry room uh, due to the lack of consideration of some of the guests in the hotel. The laundry room is perfectly adequate generally, except when it isn't. um, but it's really problematical when people are lost in their own worlds and take up either one of the two washers or one of the two dryers or two of the two dryers and two of the two washers, and then forget that they have laundry there, uh, which precludes anybody else from using the machines. And somebody left a load of their stuff in the dryer, and it's been in the dryer without anybody coming down to check on it for 2.5 hours. And I kind of know it's okay. I guess there's some kind of laundry room etiquette that says it's okay if somebody does something like that to take their stuff out and put it someplace safe. But I got to live here for another 49 days, and I ain't going to do it. I'm going to just, Lesley's dealing with it. So I'm going to go ahead and take a couple of minutes to do the blog now instead of later on this evening. It's interesting. And if you listen to your body, it'll tell you what's going on if you listen carefully enough. I know when I get tired, it's a special kind of fatigue. I really have a sense of whether or not I'm going to need a transfusion. And I was hoping that wasn't the case for today, but unfortunately it turned out, well, fortunately or unfortunately, depending on how you look at it, it turned out that I did need a transfusion today. And it went pretty smoothly, and it's worthwhile because I know I'm going to feel better. I mean, that's it. The other day while we were at Trader Joe's or Sprouts or somewhere, I ran out of gas completely, and I thought Lesley was actually going to have to get the car and bring it around because I didn't even know if I could get through the parking lot to where the car was parked, and it wasn't that far away. So I had a pretty good sense that I was going to need the transfusion today. We got that done, and then we had to get over to Methodist Hospital. Here's Lesley. We must have overcome the fact that there was nobody there to. That's Lesley lurking in the background. And did they ever come down for the stuff? No. Okay, well, next time we'll take it out and burn it. We'll put it in the parking lot and burn it. In any case, we had to go on over to the hospital, Arcadia Methodist, the one that's right across the street from Santa Anita. Great hospital, by the way, where she had to fill out some paperwork and get some information set up for her pending epidural. And that took up, it takes up chunks of the afternoon. It really does. It takes up really, really large blocks of time. When we got back here and got laundry into the machines that we were able to get laundry into, the ones that were available. And I came back up here to work on some bills and some other stuff that doesn't stop just because you're in the middle of a transplant. And while Lesley was downstairs waiting for the dryers to dry, and waiting for somebody to pick up the stuff that they never picked up. And I got a call from the doctor at City of Hope, changing medications. We had blood work done today, and the blood work confirmed that my hemoglobin was really low, as were almost all my numbers, actually. The encouraging number was platelet count, which had gone up from 54 to 65 on its own, evidently, and it stayed there. So I'm really excited to see what it does between now and next Tuesday when we go back to the hospital for clinic again, and for more blood work. But there are two anti-rejection drugs that I take. One of them is tacrolimus. The other one is sacrolimus. I don't know who makes up these names, but there's got to be a department someplace, where you go to get goofy names for drugs. And my sirolimus level is lower than it should be. And they come in either 1 milligram little tiny tablets, or they come in 0.5 milligram tablets, because they like to be able to give you 1.5 milligrams as part of the dose, depending on, where you are. I mean, it could be more, it could be less. But it was interesting because they asked me whether or not I wanted to get another bottle of 0.5 milligram sacrolimus so that I could take 1.5 daily, or whether I would be willing to take 2 tablets one day and then 1 tablet the next day, and then 2 tablets and then 1 tablet, until we started to run out of tablets, at which time we could go ahead and get the 0.5 milligram tablets and then do whatever they wanted to do with it. And it sort of reminds you of the really intricate choreography, the alchemy of healthcare today, especially if you've got something weird like this, especially if you've gone through a transplant. It also helps you recognize what artists, the art of medicine, as well as the practice of medicine. When you have really great doctors and they really understand the biology, the body chemistry, what's going on, and what they have to do to keep you whole and to keep you healthy. And I'm just really grateful that I have one of the best in the world. So it doesn't get much better than that. But we're going to have to count out pills differently. And the good news is that I do my pills every day, so it shouldn't be a problem. And I wrote myself a note on my list of stuff. I don't know whether you can see that or not, but these are just some of the drugs. There's another page in there somewhere. They go on forever. And the check marks are the ones that I take. In any case, you do what you have to do, and you don't really think about it much, because that's fine. The other thing I wanted to share with you before I wish you a really nice evening wherever you are, is there are lots of really interesting conversations that occur here in the hospital, and you meet a lot of really fascinating people. And there's a certain bond that occurs between patients, especially patients that have gone through a transplant, regardless of what kind of transplant it was, and regardless of what it was for, what kind of disease it was. Because evidently, something that I didn't know is that the transplants now are becoming really less rare for other kinds of cancers. But they're particularly effective for myeloids like mine. And we met another myeloid multiple myeloma patient who is headed towards her 3rd birthday, which is the third year that she's post-transplant. And she said something that really resonated for me and for Lesley as well, because we commented on it later on in the car when we were talking about it, and that is that, and I apologize for preaching. It's an admonishment, and I apologize for that, but don't take things for granted. Don't ignore things when your body's trying to talk to you. That's where we started. Remember, um, her symptoms started with what everybody thought was simple anemia, which is where my symptoms, the early traces of the pathology of my disease made themselves known. So pay attention to stuff like that. Don't take it for granted. I know a lot of people are scared of going to doctors, but doctors can save your life if you let them. And that's all I got to say about that. We're all grown-ups here. we should know. We should know better. Anyway, in any case, stay well, take care. Talk to you tomorrow. If you're going away for the holiday weekend, enjoy. I hope you're going someplace really cool, really interesting. We're going someplace really cool and really interesting here at the hotel in Azusa. Stay well and take care. Bye-bye.